I've always struggled with giving up. If I start something, then I become obsessed with getting it not only done, but done in a way that I'm satisfied with. If I lose something, I won't rest until I find it. If I start a project, I need it to be finished soon, and I need it perfect. So when I put my new version of Saya next to her sister Ray, and decided they weren't really matching much, I first tried to redo both face-ups. Saya's I was happy with, but Ray's not so much. I felt I was too heavy-handed with her makeup, even though it suits her character. And then a thought occurred to me. What if I sculpted my own Ray to match Saya even better? That day I sat down with my iPad and worked on modifying Saya's head into Ray, so I could make sure they looked similar enough. And off I went to print her, except that print fell miserably. It was half sad and half hilarious, because it felt in such a bizarre way that I couldn't help but laugh. It looked like a little alien, but as funny as it was, I didn't want it happening again. So I went back to the software, and this time I chose violence. I set up so many supports, I knew removing them would be horrible, but I didn't want to take the chance. After I was satisfied with my ridiculous amount of supports, I went and heated up some pizza while I waited for the file to export, watched a video essay, and now with a file in hand, I went to print it again. This one would end up late at night, so I left it and went to sleep, hoping the next morning I'd have it ready to wash, cure, and paint. When I woke up the next morning and checked on it, it looked much better. But when I removed my, admittedly very dirty printed cover, I found it had run out of resin and thus failed again. I was getting frustrated. But third time's the charm, right? So I mixed more resin and I set off to print again. And 3 hours and 45 minutes later, she was perfect. Or mostly. The head back looked great, but the head was missing part of the ear and had a mysterious hole on her cheek. How did that even happen? I wanted to cry, but I wouldn't give up. So I washed her, cured her, and set up my phone to record the best I could, which sadly was not in horizontal mode, and I decided to fix her instead of printing again. I used a piece of Fimo to cover most of the hole, and I applied some resin from the printer on top, cured it, and continued to fill the hole and cure as I saw fit. Once that was done, I removed the excess Fimo from the inside and sanded the fix for a nicer finish. It didn't take as long as I thought it would, and I was very satisfied with the result. The missing earpiece, I decided I would write into the book. It would be fine. With that done, I decided to do her face up. I painted her ears black with gouache, first thing after sealing her. And then I started laying down my base colors in pastel. I'm sorry that so much of it is off camera. I'm still learning to record my work better. I sketched her eyebrows, painted her eyeliner in gouache and watercolor, and her lips in watercolor, and sealed as I went. I then decided her eyebrows should also be gouache, so I did that. I applied shimmer to her whole face, glossed her lips in eyeliner, and waited for it all to set. At night, I grabbed the eyes Ray was wearing and put them on the new Ray. And they were definitely not the right size for her. I ignored that and put her on the body, and I hated it so much that I didn't record it at all. I realized her sculpt had printed differently from what I envisioned due to my inexperience with sculpting, and her eyes and thin face made her look rather like a snake. That's when I realized maybe it's okay to give up sometimes. I went back to the original sculpt, and suddenly it looked much nicer in my eyes. Sometimes you need to try new things in order to learn to value the old ones. And that's okay. If you watched this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!